Lo and behold, we got our classic at the college football playoff, but this wasn't supposed to be it. Arizona State, you were remarkable. Texas, you were just somehow that much better. Final score, in overtime, Texas defeated Arizona State 39-31 at the Peach Bowl. Welcome to the Voice of College Football. Please like and subscribe. Leave those comments down below. This was something else, and if nothing else, gives credit and credibility and validates the Big 12's bid into the college football playoff. But Arizona State wanted to win this game so bad, and for much of the second half, you know what? For basically the entirety of the second half, Arizona State looked like the better football team. But again, Texas gets it done to advance. Let's remember, no Jordan Tyson, the best wide receiver for the Sun Devils, 73 catches. Nobody had more than 17 at the wide receiver spot. Misses again. Also missed the Big 12 championship game. In that particular game, Xavier Guillory is the guy that stepped up for me and made acrobatic catches that impressed me. Malik McClain was also counted upon, the former Florida State and Penn State wide receiver, to step in for Jordan Tyson. It was mentioned before the game by Kenny Dillingham that despite the presence of Cam Skattebo, that they would have to, meaning Arizona State, generate the run game in non-traditional ways. Now, I don't know that he necessarily meant that meant that Sam Leavitt would have to run around like a chicken with his head cut off constantly to just stay alive in this game, because for a long, long time it appeared as though Leavitt, despite his best struggles, wouldn't be able to get into the end zone against this Texas defense. But once ASU caught its stride, look out. Let's also keep in mind that Skattebo and Leavitt talked big going into this game. Leavitt said in his comparison with Quinn Ewers, "I'm the better quarterback." Skattebo called himself the best running back in the country. I don't go in for that sort of thing. I say leave it on the line, do your best, lay it out there, put the performance out there, let others praise you. But hey, they backed it up, both of them. Exceptional performances. Let's start from the top. 3rd and 4, Leavitt on the opening drive. Miscommunication on a screenplay with Skattebo. They had words, and Skattebo stayed inside. Leavitt wanted to lead him and did not pick up the first down there. However, on the punt, running into the kicker, how this player missed the football, because he basically had the football off the foot at his kneecap but missed it on the block, but ran into the kicker. So a first down for ASU, and they would work it to a field goal thanks to an Anthony Hill face mask. Texas special teams coach and coordinator Jeff Banks not happy with that situation that led to a 3-0 deficit for the Longhorns. Texas would come right back though, and they looked like, okay, this is a Texas game. They're the 2-touchdown favorite. They are going to be that team on this day and put ASU in its place. Matthew Golden from 54 yards on the first offensive play of the day for Ewers and company. Then 23 yards to DeAndre Moore for the touchdown. Moore, 2 catches, 25 yards. And then Silas Bolden, 75-yard punt return, where he shook Malik McClain when he first caught the football, and then he was gone. Beautifully blocked play. 14-3 like that. 3 plays for the Texas offense. 2 offensive plays. 14-3. Looked like it was over. No. Even when Alfred Collins stuffed the tight end, then stuffed Cam Skattebo on a 4th and 1 at the 21. And this is a situation where Kenny Dillingham, pretty much for the most part, although ASU did hit on a couple field goals, had decided, number one, we're the underdog and we're going for it. But also because of the kicking woes coming into this game, that they would just have to go for it. And maybe that's sometimes to the offense's advantage when you know what, we're just going to go for it. And this is always 4-down territory. And that's generally how Dillingham approached this game. But on this 4th and 1 at the Texas 21, stuffed. And the Texas defense, certainly in the first half, was up to the challenge of Cam Skattebo, limiting him to less than 3 yards per carry. Miles Rouser mugged Matthew Golden, PI to the Arizona State 44. Then you had Quintravian Weisner with a screen to the Arizona State 21 on the misdirection play. And, of course, Sark calls that up about as well as anybody in the game. Keep in mind that Texas, as they move on, is going to be a nightmare in the passing game with Weisner and with Jadon Blue as the top two pass-catching threats out of the backfield in the SEC. They are the 1-2 combination for Sark and Texas. Xavier Alford had a beautiful pass breakup on Gunnar Helm that forced the field goal. There was also an offside that made it 4th and 2, and Quinn Ewers, though, made the perfect throw to Matthew Golden, a very odd play on a 4th and 2 in which the defensive back had the angle on Golden, but Golden leaped up, made the catch, and Ewers made a perfect throw to convert 4th and 2. However, the field goal would come into play as Arizona State stiffened on defense, and basically from the time Texas scored those first 2 touchdowns on 2 plays, plus the punt return, and then got the field goal drive, but bogged down in the red zone, the Texas offense did nothing forever, and we will outline that a little bit later as we go. Sam Leavitt, as I mentioned off the top, just had to keep plays alive constantly. The Texas pass rush was overwhelming, and it was remarkable to watch him navigate that, usually by just dodging guys, being too tough to bring down, even though they sacked him a number of times. 24 of 46 for 222, so not a lot of yardage in the passing game, as you see there, at less than 10 yards per completion for Leavitt, but he would start to make some plays in the second half. Shimon Meter had a huge drop on a play near the end of the first half, and then Texas had a sack on 4th down. Again, Arizona State going for it on 4th down at the Texas 37 instead of punting or going for a long field goal because they just don't have it there. And again, Texas gets the sack and thwarts another drive. 1:58 left in the first half. Arizona State's offense non-existent until the fake punt. And what a call by Kenny Dillingham, showing a ton of guts on this one. The little punter at 180 pounds throwing to the monster offensive or defensive lineman. Sorry, didn't give credit, didn't look it up. Saw the guy's name, forgot to write it down in my notes. My apologies to both of you. I'll put it on this screen. How about that? Because we love to give credit to the guys that don't get talked about all the time. I say this all the time. I hate when guys make exceptional plays on special teams and otherwise that don't get mentioned during the broadcast and they just kind of brush right through it. So credit to the punter and the receiver on the play that got Arizona State cranked up on this win because they were dead in the water. But Malik Muhammad did make an exceptional pass breakup at the goal line where he laid out to thwart the touchdown pass. So there was a blocked field goal. Arizona State did all that work, brought it down the field after the fake punt, but blocked field goal by Ethan Burke. So he had a 17-3 ball game at the half. Different ball game in the second half, decidedly. ASU gets a 3-and-out with a sack included. Then they go on an 11-play, 60-yard drive, and Michael Taff got his bell rung by Cam Skadaboo. He had to leave the game. He did come back, and Skadaboo, again, the best running back in the country, he started to look the part. 4th and goal at the 2.5, though, with 2 extra offensive linemen for Arizona State in the game. They got stuffed. I thought 2.5 yards was too far to go against that Texas front. Skadaboo had to dodge like 18 guys. It took like 6 guys to bring him down, but did not get near the goal line. So once again, Arizona State, this is 4 times now we've noticed in the red zone or close on the periphery of the red zone. And here at the 2.5 yard line, they went for it and got stopped. However, this guy, forgotten because he had the targeting call in the second half of the Big 12 championship game. Shamari Simmons, maybe the best defender for Arizona State, had played a remarkable Big 12 championship game. A lot of people first found out about Simmons there. Blew up Weisner. You had to see this play. Blows him up in the backfield in the end zone. The ball comes flying. Quinn Ewers catches it, but he gets trapped for the safety. So we've got a 17-5 game. And at this point, in the third quarter, Arizona State outgained Texas 125-8. Texas went 12 plays for 21 yards during a certain span of time there. So now we've got a 17-5 game. And then it went 17-8 because they got the kickoff off the safety. Arizona State on another drive bogged down in the red zone, but they did kick the field goal this time, 17-8. Texas went then on a touchdown drive finally got the ball moving, went to the run game, relied on what was supposed to be a great offensive line. Didn't look it in this game in the run game. 13 plays, 75 yards for the touchdown, 24-8 with 10 minutes left. Texas went 42 game minutes without scoring a touchdown. We thought it was over. I thought it was over. I know better than that, but I did. 24-8. But Arizona State came right back. 10 plays, 75 yards, capped off by Cam Skattebo. Not racing through the defense, not catching a pass, throwing the football. It was mentioned during the broadcast. At one point, this guy punted for this football team. He started a game at quarterback, and on this play, I thought, this is a dumb play call. They're trying to run wide on Texas, all that speed. But no, Skattebo pulled up and found Malik McClain. And as soon as he released the football, I thought, man, this is a tricky play. And they didn't catch Texas because they had McClain covered. Underthrew the football, not going to work. But you know what? McClain, give him credit, came back for the football. Maybe Skattebo, for as good as he is, maybe he knew he had to underthrow the football because his guy came back for it, outraced Texas and to the end zone for the touchdown, and we suddenly had life for Arizona State, and we had a ball game with a 2-point conversion, which was wide open, 24-16 at this point. Quinn Ewers, horrible underthrow, and Jesse Palmer pointed this out during the broadcast. He had his receiver, needed to throw it on a line. He was breaking free down the seam, but he lofted it and gave Jamon Robinson time to pick it off and get back to the football. And so Arizona State set up down 8 at the 50-yard line. Skattebo down the left sideline. The guy's Superman. Runs it, throws it, catches it. 62 yards off of Michael Taft. Poor Michael Taft, an excellent football player, but he got his bell rung and knocked out of the game by Skattebo. And then on this play, he gets burned by Skattebo for 62 yards. And then we had a 1st and goal. Jahdae Barron had a pass interference. Arizona State set up at the 2 with 5 minutes left. Skattebo scores and gets the 2-point conversion. He does everything. It's 24-all, brand new ball game, 5 minutes left in the game. Keep in mind during all of this talk about Texas defense, and I hyped them up all week as well, just a tremendous defense and great individual talent. The front is exceptional, all of that. They are 103rd in the nation in missed tackles, meaning they miss a lot of tackles. And this is not a guy you want to miss tackles again. They were so sure tackling early in the game, first half, but Skattebo started to wear down that Longhorns defense. All right, 24-all. Texas comes back. 3rd and 3, Gunnar Helm. First reception of the game. First time they got him involved. Then Matthew Golden, who was exceptional the entire game, comes back on the curl. Ewers throws a dime to the 30. Then we've got our 2-minute timeout. And then Arizona State stiffened. Texas with a false start. The Arizona State pass rush took over. Plus Ewers missed Golden on a play. Horrible pass there. Bert Auburn came in. Longtime Texas kicker. Maybe the all-time leader in points scored in the history of the school. I saw a stat, 41 of 45 inside 40 yards. This one from 48, I believe. Miss. Never had a shot. We go to overtime. And I got to say, between what happened in the fourth quarter, in the final 10 minutes, and then based on Arizona State's initial results on offense, I thought, my goodness, this place is going crazy. Arizona State's got all this momentum. Texas, they're the big favorite. They carry the burden of the favored status. They had the 16-point lead. They blew it. I sometimes forget how resilient collegiate athletes are. They just shrug this off. They do. Because Levitt scrambled. That was remarkable. Cam Skattebo scores the touchdown as he just mows over the 300-pounder, and it's 31-24 Arizona State. And this is remarkable because the takeaway from this game, and I said this to a certain extent, watching Penn State and Boise State, that if it was a regular season game, that showed me more from Boise State, and my biggest takeaway would be Boise State and that they belong. And so during the regular season, and in a certain way, my biggest takeaway from this game is about Arizona State, because I knew Texas was this good, but it's about Arizona State coming back and showing mettle and being just as good as Texas, if not a better football team. They looked like the better team for much of this game. But 4th and 8 for Texas with the game on the line in overtime. They've got to score. And then Kelvin Banks has a false start, your best offensive lineman, arguably the best in the nation. 4th and 13. The entire season's on the line. And Quinn Ewers to Matthew Golden. And Golden was remarkable. Again, he gets behind the defense on a 4th and 13. And Ewers throws a perfect pass. And we're tied at 31. How did that happen? Then Texas has the ball, of course, because you go back-to-back on offense. Gunnar Helm, one play on the wheel route, touchdown. And then Golden on the two-point conversion, 39-31. Okay, it's up to Arizona State and Sam Leavitt to convert. They went to the running game. Texas was up to the challenge. They forced him into a 3rd down. And then Leavitt had his throw undercut by Andrew Makuba. The Clemson transfer made a really good break on the football to undercut Stovall, pick it off, end the game. And Texas survives. They truly survive in this one because, again, Arizona State, anything I had to say about the Big 12 and Arizona State, I thought that they would play a decent game, but it would be much like the Clemson game against Texas. But no. They were up to the challenge. Now, we don't know what would happen if these teams played 10 times, but it doesn't matter. Texas wins, but Arizona State belongs. And credit to Arizona State. Kenny Dillingham's doing a remarkable job there. That's the understatement of the century. 3-9 the last 2 seasons. 1 under Dillingham. And then they close it out, taking Texas to the brink. What a game. What a game. And the winner, Texas, takes on the winner of the Rose Bowl. Ohio State and Oregon will, of course, be live after the ball game, after the Rose Bowl. Unfortunately, again, the Sugar Bowl canceled because of the tragedy on Bourbon Street. Welcome to the Voice of College Football. Please like the video and subscribe. Lock it in right here. Give me a call after the Rose Bowl. We'll talk college football with you all the time. We do it 24/7, 365 with you right here at the Voice of College Football.